Well, good morning. Just you today. Wow. It's an honor to have you up here this morning with me. It's my one special guest. So, how do you like school in general? Do you like school? You ever have any problems at school with like bullies and stuff? No? That's good. That's good because a lot of kids do. You ever have anybody pick on you at school or at home? Never get in fights with other kids? Arguments? Never? Wow. I think this is a first. Now, my daughter has always been very well behaved, but even she gets into arguments sometimes with other people, with other kids, and sometimes with her mother. I mean, she's always good for me. And I say, my ex-wife tells me about some of the things that she does, and I was like, I don't understand it. She's always perfect for me. And she's like, you need to be around her when she's with me. So, but anyway, there's a story in the Bible about two brothers named Cain and Abel. You ever heard those names before? Okay. Well, if you go clear back to the beginning of the Bible, when God created Adam and Eve, you remember them? Adam and Eve? Okay. They lived in the garden, and then, of course, you know the story about how they had to leave the garden after they sinned with forbidden fruit. So they had some kids, and their first two kids' names were Cain and Abel. So that's who I'm talking about in today's story. Well, one day, they decided to go out and give some offerings to God. And Cain went and got some of the offerings of the stuff that he was good at, and Abel went and got some of the offerings of the stuff that he was good at, and they gave those to God. And God liked Abel's offering, but he didn't like Cain's. And I think maybe the reason for that is because Cain's didn't really come from his heart. Is he was just giving it to him because he felt like he had to give it to him. But Abel gave from his heart and gave something that really meant a lot to him. And so Cain became jealous of his brother because he thought that God liked him more. And so guess what Cain did? He killed his brother Abel. So that was the very first time when somebody ever killed somebody else. And it was this guy killed his own brother. And so now, I think of when I was a kid, when I was your age, I had two brothers. So we fought a lot. And I remember one time I shot one of my brothers with a BB gun. And it wasn't on purpose. I wasn't trying to shoot him, but I did. And believe me, I got in trouble for that. And one time, talking about Jeremy, a little bit earlier, my brother that broke, he was either both his legs or one arm and one leg. But I think it was both his legs, actually. But anyway, one time, the neighbor boys were down playing with me. Maybe I shouldn't tell you this story. If I give you some ideas. But you're a good girl, so I don't think you're going to do any of this stuff. But she is now. But the story goes, our neighbor boys from the house up the road came down to visit us. They came down a lot in the summer. And so we were playing outside in the barn, and we decided to tie Jeremy up with baler twine, just as a game. And we tied him up and left him in the haymow. And he wasn't like high off the ground or anything to where it would be dangerous, but he couldn't get loose, and he couldn't get out of the barn. And then after we got him all tied up, Mom hollered at us, "Boys, come eat!" So we took off, went to eat, got all washed up, sat down at the table, and she's like, "Where's Jeremy?" And we're like, "Oh, he's just hanging around." And so she went to the door and yelled, "Jeremy, get in here or you're not going to get to eat." And she was yelling at him, blaming him for not coming. And boy, when she found out we had him tied up in the barn, boy, did we get in trouble for that. But anyway, kids argue a lot. And especially if you have brothers and sisters, sometimes you fight and stuff. But you would never really seriously hurt them on purpose, would you? No, most kids wouldn't. But some kids do. Some people do. And this past week, we heard some stories about some people that most of us wouldn't even ever think of doing some of the stuff that these guys did. You've probably heard about some of this stuff. And it's real sad when we hear that these things happen. And you don't need rules to tell you that it's wrong to kill somebody, right? And you don't need rules to know that it's wrong to fight. It's just something that we know automatically. But we do have those rules because some people apparently don't understand. They don't know those things. They don't actually have that that conscience to help guide them, or that voice of God inside. Maybe that's part of the reason for some of these things. But we want to pray for those people that hurt other people, and pray that God would help them to become better people. And we want to pray also for the people that they hurt, so that they can get better, and so that we can stop things like that from happening again. So if you're ever at school and somebody's picking on you or causing fights, be sure to let somebody know about that. Pray for the people that are doing the bad things, and do, just go tell the right people so that they can get something done to help fix it. Okay? All right. Thanks very much.